Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our AM Minnesota program. We're going to see if these microphones are working today.
Am I on?
Aha. Well, they got switched back or something. I don't know. It's very bizarre, this place. It's like there's a ghost in here sometimes.
A little technology gremlin running around.
Monday,
today.
that microphone was actually the other microphone, and I was having a heck of a time with Julie and our guest from the phone from the Paradise. And now it's back the way it was. So I don't know what's going on here.
We had TVs going crazy in here, too, a while ago, didn't we?
Some gremlin, some ghost, maybe the ghost of Mike Morrissey's back or something. I don't know. He's wreaking havoc with us.
Oh. Gordy, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. You know, busy and just, I don't know if I could be blessed anymore. We had an amazing business before hours this morning down at the Crooked Pint, right in the with the sun shining over that new splash pad under the viaduct.
Oh, you went to the viaduct?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was at the Crooked Pint business.
Okay.
You know, but of course you can see that they've got breakfast going on there now, by the way. And it's delicious. And they got the park going on. Have you seen all of the bulldozer and front-end loader work going on there?
Yeah, they've been working hard.
Yeah, so we got the splash pad there now, and then that ice rink with it'll have the fixtures underneath it to keep it icy when it's warm out. Not like 90-degree warm, but it won't get puddles on it during those sunny days in the winter, and that's going to be pretty nice. You know, Faribault can have nice things.
I hope it gets used. That's what
the splash pad has been busy every time I've gone by.
Of course. Well, it's free. Why wouldn't it be used?
Well, yeah. Well, it's the public paid for it. The public gets to use it. That's my theory on it. I think that's just the way it's supposed to be.
Even people from out of town can come and use it.
You bet. Well, they're probably going to eat somewhere and get some gasoline.
I sure hope
shop
so.
downtown and yeah. The theory that I hold is that community development is equal to or more important than economic development, because people will live where they want to be, that have a place that has the amenities and the housing and the shopping and the jobs that they want.
Well, and some people don't necessarily, to your point, live where they work.
Correct.
They may have a job in the South Metro and don't want to live up there. They want to live in a smaller community, have their kid go to a smaller school, that sort of thing.
Get them into our public schools. We need that. I threw a stat out there. I've been throwing this out there because it's not mine. But did you know that there are 14,000 paychecks that leave Faribault every month? 14,000. That's given if you're getting paid twice a month. So there's 7,000 people that commute into Faribault and work and get their paychecks, and they're leaving town and they're doing their shopping. Their kids are in schools in other communities.
Okay, now let me clarify this. Yeah. You're talking about people that are living in other towns and working in Faribault.
Correct, yeah. So these paychecks are being earned in town, but they're being spent out of town.
How about the reverse?
It's almost the same number.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So those who are able to flip that number are those that are going to be most successful. I mean, I see the biggest opportunity for Faribault right now to flip the script a bit on that is providing more home ownership opportunities, especially the starter homes. We've got so many members of our workforce who they work in Faribault, they live in Faribault. There's not something suitable for them to purchase. You know, most families, I'm going to say especially Faribault families, that are frontline and middle level workforce, super important to the economy. They don't necessarily have some family wealth built up or have the ability to put together down payments to purchase a home. I mean, it's quite a hurdle for most. And we've got a program that lots of folks are working on to help Faribault workers overcome that hurdle and be able to buy homes.
Well, are there any more programs that allow no money down?
So very few that function in that way, but there are programs and there are organizations that are set up, and Faribault now has one. It's called a Community Land Trust. So this has just started. Fantastic cooperation across entities to get this land trust started. So the way in that works, Gordy, let's just say that through philanthropy or donations of land, this organization is able to own building lots. And let's just say, you've got somebody working at your ag organization, you're at your farm site, and this couple that's working there, they're doing okay, but they can't buy a house. The land trust, let's just say they've got a lot over on 4th Avenue that's empty, and it's been donated to the land trust. This couple is income qualified because they're working. Okay, they're income qualified. They could afford the payments to be in a house, but they don't have a down payment available. So what the Community Land Trust does, they hold the value of that land. Okay, it's deeded separately. And the bank, you can go to any of the community banks here in Faribault. They're all awesome, by the way. And the bank will recognize that value of the lot as security in lieu of a down payment. So the land trust will offer that up, and it's in second position to the bank note, and the bank recognizes that as a security for the down payment. So now the couple can go ahead and either buy the house that's on that lot or build. And now they've gotten into a home ownership opportunity. The land trust, the administrative on it's pretty minimum once it's in the trust. The couple will pay a small fee monthly, and I'm talking less than $100 a month. And because the land trust has to keep going, obviously, you've got to pay people to do the administrative work and things. And so the long and short of it is then when that couple moves on maybe to their next home, their bigger home, the lot still stays in the land trust, and you still have that opportunity for the next couple coming down the line that they could do the same thing. And home ownership is the lubricant for upward mobility, Gordy. You get a chance to have your own home and build some equity, and they get to keep most of the equity. Some, of course, will go to the lot as prices go up on it, but they'll make their payments. They'll earn equity in the house, and they'll earn some of the equity lift, when a house is, they become more valuable. So the appreciation in the house, they also get a good portion of that. So it's one of those things that a pretty good group came together to put together, and that's the Rice County Community Land Trust.
Well, it can't be, there has to be a limit on the number, right? What number of homes are we talking here?
Gordy, honestly, right now, I think new homes for those kind of opportunities, Faribault could use several hundred. So anything that can get done will help. It's a 501c3 nonprofit, and I need to do hats off to the organizations that help bring this to fruition. And they are, the chamber has been involved and helped organize some things to help create this. The Faribault Foundation is involved. Rice County and the city of Faribault are involved with making this thing a reality. So they've got their own board of directors now. It's its own organization, and again, just starting, but we're really anxious to.
So this is separate from the County Housing and Redevelopment Authority.
That's correct. But we expect this to be a tool for Rice County and for the city of Faribault's HRA. And we already have had one private donor who's helped put money in the coffers for the help offset the cost of the consultants that have helped us get this going. Like I said, an awesome, very representative board of directors. We've got real estate represented on it. We've got city, we've got county, and some other privates. The foundation is represented on that board. The chamber's represented on that board, and just one of those things, one of those tools that we're putting in the box for Faribault for community development, which will really help bolster economic development.
Next week, the City Council chat at Buckham West, they're going to explain tax increment financing and tax abatement when you talked about economic development earlier.
Yeah, and those are great tools as well. And they're somewhat misunderstood.
That's right.
If you haven't, it's not typically when those incentives are put into place for development. I'm going to call it deferred revenue. In other words, it's and it's very simple explanation for it's somewhat complicated, but to explain simply. Tax abatement can be described as, well, you're going to improve that property now, and your incentive is going to be in the form of taxes that we wouldn't have received had the property not been improved. We'll go ahead and leave the value of the property at its current as it's improved for a number of years to help offset your expenses. And that's a very simple explanation. And while it's not 100% accurate to each situation, the long and short of it, it's a tool to be able to help development without being cash out. You're doing concessions on taxes in the future. And then eventually that gets back, those expire and they're up to full tax load. And you've been able to improve the community, add more amenity or more apartments or fixed buildings, whatever it might be. And it's appealing to developers. And we need to do those things to be competitive.
Absolutely. We've got a market update to get here, courtesy of your KDHL Agri Boosters, and then we'll talk more with Nort Johnson. He's the president, the CEO of the Faribault Area Chamber of Commerce and Tourism.
Good morning. It's time for the market update on this Wednesday morning on the Linder Farm Network. Joining us, Christy Van On Company, Alexandria. Well, Christy, corn on the lower side, soybean futures a little higher, wheat futures lower. What's moving markets today?
Yeah, I think there's a lack of news out there right now. That's just causing these markets to pause here. The forecast moving forward does remain warm and above average chances of precipitation. And I think with that forecast, you just have a little bit of a risk off. We have to remember how aggressively long managed money wanted to be into these grain markets. So to see them kind of stabilize here before the seasonal push isn't all that out of the ordinary. However, these are levels specifically for the corn market that have to hold for D26 corn. 465 is 1.2 standard deviations. It's a huge level on the chart. And so we need to see this hold. Soybeans, same situation, have not dropped off like you've seen corn and wheat drop off, but hovering just above the 40-day moving average. The 40-day moving average has been a key support level for quite some time for new crop soybeans, so we need to see that hold. And so far, it's been doing a great job doing that and being able to support itself, but really looking at this chart and saying, hey, corn is make it or break it today, and we need to make sure that we're holding this level.
Livestock futures, cattle and feeder cattle lower. Why the pressure on those markets?
Yeah, you continue to see these cattle markets really struggle right now. You are leaving a very long tail to the downside on live cattle. So hopefully that means something here on the chart. But overall, just coming in here and not looking pretty. You're almost at 2 standard deviations for November feeder cattle. I think somewhat the outside markets, the Dow market down 380 points is weighing on these. But overall, a lot of negativity showing up into cattle. Yesterday, we saw a key reversal for the hog market. So if we could build off of it today, that would be huge. We're beyond 2 standard deviations. Right now, our front months are just a little bit lower, but trying to work their way back positive. But the chart is looking very good for the hog markets if we can confirm this reversal.
Thank you, Christy. Christy Van On and Company, Alexandria. And Chicago July corn is at 436 3/4, down 3 3/4. September down 3 1/4. December 462 3/4, down 3 3/4. July beans 1165 1/4 steady. November 1180 1/4, up 2 1/2. July soybean meal down 80. July soybean oil up 67. Chicago July wheat 5.95 3/4 down 7 1/4. And September Minneapolis wheat down 4 1/2. Live cattle June 246.02 down 165. August down 167. August feeder cattle down 417 and September down to 457. July lean hogs 101.55 down 10. August up 27. The Dow is down 348. This is the Linder Farm Network.
No matter if you live on the farm or in town, pest control is very important. From insect control to mouse control, even on the farm, there are many pests you have to deal with around those grain bins and outbuildings, both inside and out. I can personally recommend Plunkett's Pest Control. They've been doing mine for many years. They are fantastic. Give them a call. Find out what it's all about. 877-571-7100. Plunkett's, 877-571-7100. 7100.
Wingert Land Services will be auctioning approximately 160 acres of land located in Cameron Township, Murray County. This farm is located northwest of Slayton and is being offered as one parcel. The auction will be held on Thursday, June 4th at 1 p.m. at the Chandler Community Center in Chandler. Must be registered to attend. Visit WingertLandServices.com for details and registration. That's our update on the Linder Farm Network.
AM Minnesota on the Mighty 920 KDHL.
Nort Johnson is with us. I forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking community development, and then we moved into a little economic development, talked about tax abatement and
is that what you wanted to talk about today? You got something on your mind?
There's so much good stuff to talk about, and it's summer. We've got these awesome events coming up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Heritage Days is next week.
Yep. Heritage Days, and
Erica Staub Absher is the Grand Marshal. Perfect choice.
I agree. For the Business Awards a couple weeks ago.
She got a new award.
It's a new award. Our super secret committee staff doesn't have anything to do with handing out awards or who gets them. That super secret committee, when they were done, they said, We've been contemplating some of these nominations and some of these things, and we think we'd like the Chamber to add a nonprofit community partner of the year, and we would like you to give that to the Hope Center and Erica this year. Well, I couldn't think of a better choice. There's lots of good choices, and some probably just as good, but it's they do amazing work there, and
she's verbal native.
Yeah, yep. We did the Blandon retreat several years ago. We were on the same Faribault cohort that went. So I got to sit next to her. We were seated, they seat you in the same spots for the curriculum every day. And got to know her.
Did you guys cheat on your tests?
Understand what an amazing person she is and what an amazing job she does. So, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
You didn't catch that?
I didn't catch that.
Did you guys cheat on your tests?
Oh, no need to cheat on the tests. No. That was funny. Blandon doesn't do that program anymore.
They don't? Why?
No. COVID, they had to put a pause on it, and I think they probably thought that they could have a little bit broader reach every year by going a little bit more into communities and a little bit more electronic with things. I'm not 100% sure, of course, what happened behind the scenes on the decision.
Well, I will say the Teams thing, or whatever platform you use, has made things a lot simpler. You don't have to have a meeting halfway across the state.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm a Zoom fan myself, and I've become a fan of the 11-minute Zoom meeting, which is
there you go.
Yeah, I strive for that, and we have regular check-in meetings, and they've been so valuable. There's one that we do every 2 weeks now, and it is South Central College and Faribault Public Schools and the Chamber, and we convene that, and
How's their new president doing, by the way? I got to get her on the show here.
Ritu's doing good. I mean, she really is. She did. Tough act to follow. Dr. Parker did a great job.
She was phenomenal.
Yes, yep. And Ritu's putting her own spin on success and has great passion for the students. I was part of the interview committee and the hiring committee for her, and that's one of the things that stood out in her interviews was just how many times she mentioned student success. You know, in interviews, I always watch for what people decide to talk about. I try to give them, ask questions, but lots of open-ended ones. You want them to talk and really kind of reveal themselves, get to know their character a little bit better, rather than, yes, no, sometimes, I did that once. Let them start talking about themselves and their feelings about things and their ideologies. And when she cut loose, she never talked about, I got this degree and I got that award and I had this success and my team did this. It was all about the student's success. That's where her passion lies, and that's what she talked about. That spoke to me pretty greatly about.
Well, it should be.
Agreed.
It should be the goal of a college president. I mean, your clients are your students.
Yes. There are those who accolades are important, awards are important. I mean, I can't talk out of both sides of my mouth, right? I can't see. We just did business awards, and those things are very important, the recognitions for good work. But and you should get those and note those and understand those. I wouldn't dwell on those. I would dwell on, why did I get that award? Well, it's because we spent all this time and we took a marginalized demographic of students who were having marginalized success in their time in school, analyzed what their special needs might be or how we could give them a hand up, not a handout, a hand up in helping them become successful. And now that's a story, and that tells you a lot about a person.
Well, and in a college like South Central, has lots of non-traditional students.
Absolutely,
right?
There are older students. They
have families and everything.
Yes, yep. So a lot of times it's students who maybe for any number of reasons didn't have a great start in their I'll call it the post-secondary phase of their lives.
Yeah. And maybe they got pregnant, unwanted pregnancy or something, and
could be that,
and ended up wanting to go back to school after they started raising their little one, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if I shared this before, but I need to, since we're talking education, we're talking success and sort of on the recovery side of things, getting your arms back around people and helping them get successful. So we were blessed to be able to fund an effort in partnership with the community school. So Cassie Riopel and her team there, Zach Pruitt was there at the time. Cassie's running it now. And we were able to fund a re-engagement effort with dropout students. Okay, so they have access to the student data. And so we had some money that we were able to put into paying to have them basically make phone calls and emails and mail to try to find out. The main purpose was to find out how they were doing, what they were doing, but then the secondary part because we can track the data to see how they're doing and help maybe make different decisions during their time in school to help reduce their likelihood of students to drop out. So this is good data to have. And then as a secondary part of that effort, offered them an opportunity to jump into the community school curriculum. There's online and some in person to earn their credentials, a diploma or a GED. Now, can you see the goosebumps popping up? This is true. Gordy, that effort led to a 330% increase in the delivery of adult GEDs and diplomas 2 years running.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
And it's so, from an employer perspective, if you've got somebody, they're working and they went back and snapped up their diploma or their GED, what a bonus. Now they've they've recognized some success and they get a little more self-confidence. Our next step in that is, well, maybe we should put together some scholarship opportunities for these re-engaged, I'll say somewhat marginalized students. And this has nothing to do with ethnicity or wealth, just students that have been marginalized because they dropped out. And not only get them those credentials, but hey, now that you've got back in the habit of learning, how about if you learn and get you a healthcare certificate? Maybe it's a CNA and you're working toward a health unit coordinator or phlebotomy, something like that. Or let's get you into another pathway. Maybe it's welding. Maybe it's the construction trades. South Central's construction trades class, the fall cohort's full. They filled it up.
Well, I would hope so.
It doesn't always do that. And we're really, that's really exciting that it is. Those are the kind of pathways and things that we want to expand. We need employees both in healthcare and in the mechanical, engineering, construction trades, right?
Electricians, welders, all that stuff.
Absolutely. So getting these folks in a position where they're able to earn additional credentials and make a little more money, right? More fully participate in the local economy. We'll say that. So yeah, it's an awesome endeavor, and Ritu really embraces all of those things around student success and fits right in with our chamber board and our chamber staff. We spend a lot of time in the different areas of education. I mean, we've got this has nothing to do with like a work assignment, but Cassie Steves is on our staff at the chamber, and through our visionary work and getting really involved with how can we help as a business community help the public schools in South Central College reach their maximum potentials, help home grow our workforce. During that learning process, Cassie got so fired up about the opportunities there. That's when she ran for school board, right? And so she's been spending her time helping with that, and that's I think that just speaks to the additional commitment and passion around helping all the Faribault kids find their pathway to success.
Troy Temple from the Faribault Heritage Days Committee was with us last week and said that the Chamber is putting on a car cruise next week for Heritage Days and moving it over by...
It'll be by Ace Hardware and Wells Fargo Bank, State Bank, that area. Yep. Yeah, this will be, I think, the third year running that we moved it over there. So it's closer to the park where the main activities are and everything. And yeah, I'll tell you, boy, Devin was out of town for the last car cruise, so I got to come down and move cones and hang up signs and whatnot with the rest of the team, helping cover his time off. What a treat that was! Just full house downtown, everybody happy, live music.
Well attended, huh?
Yeah, really very well attended. I like walking by the restaurants and the bar establishments. They fill up during those car cruises. That's the purpose. Get people down and enjoying the downtown, spending some money, and relaxing, and seeing how we're growing and adding to the downtown offerings.
Well, I got to boogie out of here, but thanks, Nort, for coming by.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for we were ricocheting things all over here. Lots of cool things to cover. So thanks, Gordy.
That concludes today's edition of AM Minnesota. We'll talk Heritage Day.